Peace and blessings. It is a Build a Boat Wednesday. Back in the yard, in the shed, whatever you want to call it, the tent. About to make a correction. This piece of wood, I guess, has been milled over a year ago, and if you see there, it's got quite a bow in it. Quite a bow. And you can see the grain in it. Kind of makes sense as to why it's behaving the way it's behaving. But as I don't feel like milling those last couple of pieces of Douglas fir I have down there, I'm going to correct this board. So where it bows, I'm going to cut it straight. So I have to cut off, this is about, let's get a tape measure and see. A little bit heavier than 1/4 of an inch, 5/16 inch at the fattest part. And basically, I don't know if you can see it, but I've just got from the beginning to the end just enough to get a straight piece out of this. Okay, now in my boat design, the outside of the frame has to be straight, and that's what this will be, the outside of the frame. The inside doesn't matter, because where this frame is, if I'll show you in the back of the boat, this frame goes right there, right? That's the next to last frame. That's inside of the transom framing, so the interior framing won't be affected by this little correction. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. I'm not going to record any of the saw cutting and the gluing work today. I think we saw enough of that on the last video. And I got some thumbs down on that video. I thought you guys wanted to see all the details. So today, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I guess maybe I'll just show you the finished result. And starting the next phase, which should be attaching these 6 frames I have to attach from here to the end of the transom. 3 station points, and I've got 5 already out there. This will make number 6, so we have to get these attached. Maybe this weekend, because I'll need some help to do it. It is about 86 degrees inside the shed. It is probably only 66 degrees out in the real world. The angle of the roof and the sun gives me about 20 degrees increase in temperature inside. So I really don't have to use this fast hardener, but I will anyway because I'm almost out of regular hardener, and it won't take me long to lay this one up. I did have a lot left over from the last time. This is way too much. This was enough to probably do another half of a frame. You see that? And for those of you who've never worked with epoxy, I wish you could feel how hard this stuff gets. That's why when I first started working on epoxy, building that dinghy out there, I had no question that a boat, big boat, made out of this stuff and some fiberglass, definitely seaworthy. So, alright, cut to the chase and get some cutting done. So, to save you all the boredom, we won't show that part. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. That's a nice rip to be done with a handsaw. Well, not a handsaw, circular saw. It does have some spots that are a little off, like here and a little bit down there. I mean, I could take a planer and plane it perfect, but why? Because remember, the outside of those frames still have to be faired. So let me show you. So the boat hull, of course, is curved. Right now, the frames are built square, like that. So eventually all those frames have to get faired, and some of it gets removed. So eventually there will be some type of bevel cut into the frame for the curve of the boat. Probably not that extreme. Definitely not that extreme, because we're only talking about, oh, at the maximum, maybe a 1/4 inch. Yeah, maybe 3/8 at the maximum, where there's the most curve to the hull in terms of how the frames will have to be faired. So, all right, so I'll go ahead and glue them together. Just to show you all the cuts again, is the cut there, which is the key cut, and key as in keyway, to fit into the keelson, around the keelson. Then there's the bevel at the chine, and then this is the piece for the shear. Now also, some of you had some really good recommendations in terms of using a table saw and such. That's actually what we did last year. If you go back to some videos from last year, you'll see a table saw and a whole elaborate setup. The only reason this was a problem is because it was unexpected. So it's an adjustment on the fly. So go back to last year and you'll see me cutting these frames out, and you'll see chop saw, layout, and the whole process. Maybe I'll try to find that and put it in one of the notes. All right, let's go ahead and glue this up. And thanks to the magic of television, we're all done. Only took about 20 minutes to do this one, if that long, really. I turned on an episode of Andy Schell's interview with Robin Knox Johnson and got it done. So if you see, that looks pretty good. If you step back, pretty straight. You can see, of course, where's my finger? You see the bow in here, but the outside edge looks pretty good. And the fast hardening epoxy is actually taking longer than I thought it would. Like I said, it's been about 20 minutes. And if you take a look here, see that? Still not set up. I don't know if the temperature affects the viscosity, but right now it's about, what is that, 77 degrees inside the tent. So it's dropped about 9 degrees in the last half hour or so. The sun actually was beating down on the top of the tent when I came out. It's now past. So it's afternoon. Anyway, go ahead and wrap this up. Well, not wrap it up. It is wrapped up. I'll come back out this evening. I found that I need to let this set up for about 4 or 5 hours before I actually move it, because I don't want the epoxy to break the bond. So let it set up really well. Come out, shoot 2 pumps into the thing, mix it up, and that's enough to finish the other side. Remember, there are chine plates on the top and the bottom, so the other chine is there and there. So I'll come back out later on and glue that up, and that's another frame down. I've just talked to a friend of mine who's going to help me out this weekend, so I should be able to get all of these frames attached to the boat, all 6, and that would basically complete the framing of the rear of the boat in terms of the standard frames. After that, I've got to actually build the transom, which I'm excited about. That's going to be beefy construction, just like the keelson was, with more typical kind of construction, you know, methods instead of all this. Well, it will be epoxy and screws, but it's I'm going to say it's easier to do. And then we can start moving forward. I'll give thanks for that. All right, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We've got hundreds of videos in boat building. If you want me to organize these videos into certain categories, I have some playlists. For instance, when I built the keelson, Maybe I can do a playlist for frames, but make recommendation in terms of what kind of playlist you want to see in terms of where I've been. And if you're ready for one of those more technical videos where I sit down with the computer and show you the plans again and where I am, let me know. Definitely appreciate your well, not patronage, but your viewership. And some people have recommended I do a Patreon account. I might do that. I don't know yet. But either way, definitely appreciate you. And as always, until next time. Oh, one other question. Was the last video too long? It was 19 minutes long. Is it boring? I know some of you want to see every detail, but for the majority of you, let me know what you like to see. Do you like this truncated format where I just show you the work afterwards, and maybe every other video show you some actual work? So let me know what you want to see. All right? And, as always, peace and blessings.